Alright guys, so this won't be a Steve Jobs style conference, so we're also going to have a microphone here for you guys, and when we speak up and when we also answer questions and stuff, we'll pass around the microphone and speak into it, yeah? Alright guys, so let's begin teacher training. Okay. Wait a second. Pointer, right. There we have it. This is what it is, okay. Very naive of me to just think it would pick it up, you know. Anyway. There we go, okay. All right then. We all good? We all in shot, yeah? Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So, welcome to HLS teacher training. We have one very simple theme today that I would like to focus on. And the theme of today's training will be assertive kindness. Assertive kindness, okay? Now, the reason I've chosen this as the theme is because I believe it is the highest and most difficult technique in teaching, but not just in teaching, in any kind of communication related job. If you're a negotiator, if you're a project manager, if you're a salesman, if you're a sergeant, if you're a general, striking that balance between being kind and being assertive is a very, very difficult thing. And a lot of people think that it's not something that can be learned. A lot of people think it's a talent-based thing. You're either born with it or you're born without it. Either way, we're going to be talking about assertiveness and kindness today, okay? Or assertive kindness, whichever way you'd like to put it, okay? So, we're going to start with some questions. Have you ever experienced this situation? Right, so, Karen, would you do me the honors of reading this one?
A student yawns not once, not twice, but more than 3 times in your lesson. Their overall body language looks tired, disinterested, and bored. You're doing your best to change the tone, but feel like you're fighting a losing battle. Okay, everyone, so please take your notebooks and write this situation down, because that's going to frame a lot of the exercises we do today. All right, so that's scenario 1. Brilliant, okay. Have you ever experienced this situation? Scenario number 2. Okay, Chris, would you do me the honors of reading this one?
You follow the standard procedure of greeting your student with a question, "How are you today?" and they respond by saying, "I'm fine," but they don't ask you the same question in return. This could either be that they are not interested or that they lack some social skills. You're on the fence about whether to address this or just let it go on.
So I'm not even going to ask whether you've experienced this, because I know you have, right? It's very common, and Japanese people may not necessarily be doing it out of a lack of interest. It could be that they're shy. It could be that in Japanese culture it's not common to ask, "How about you?" Could be a number of reasons. Either way, nothing with bad intent, but this is also a situation that we need to think, do I have to address this? Do I just leave it, you know? Common situation. So let's write down this one as well, because this will frame today's exercises. Who's feeling a little bit of a headache from the air pressure and the strange weather today? Is that just me?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
You're not feeling anything? Nothing? Yeah. Maybe I just had too much to drink yesterday.
That makes a lot.
Blaming it on the air pressure. And have you ever experienced this situation? Scenario number 3. Ricky, would you do me the honors?
Yes, sir. You have a plan for the lesson based on what the student's standard lesson format is. The student suddenly expresses that they want to do something different. Your first thought is, the customer is always right. So you agree to their plan and switch gears. At the same time, you feel a little taken back by their sudden show of assertiveness. You wonder, does he see me as a teacher?
Maybe you have been in this situation, maybe you haven't, but it can happen. It can definitely happen. And it's a tricky one because Japan's philosophy is that the customer is always right. And that may be true to a certain degree, and agreeing with their decision to change today's plan is probably the right way to go about it. But the manner in which you agree is very important. The manner in which you agree to their proposed suggestion, their change of plans, you know. This is the third scenario, so if you could write that one down. Okay, good. Now, raise your hands if you feel like these three situations are somewhat relatable to you, or if you've experienced these situations before. I figured that would be the case, you know, because we're in Japan, and in Japan, a lot of people will certainly have tendencies of not being so talkative, being very passive in general conversation, to the point of not even being able to ask, and yourself, how about your day? How was your day today, sir? So these are dilemmas that we need to tackle, certainly, and we need to tackle them with tact, we need to tackle them with respect, but we also need to tackle it confidently, right? And the theme of today's teacher training being about assertive kindness, I figured it would be good to break it down into the assertive part first and the kindness part second. So, phase one will be tackling assertiveness, okay? All right, everyone. So anyways, thank you for coming. So let's just start today's training with a little clap for morale, okay? Okay, so assertiveness. I'd like to do it like this. So I'll read one sentence and then we'll go this way. As it fades onto the screen, we take turns to read line by line. So I'll read the first one, and then after me it will be you, Karen, and then after Karen it will be Chris and Ricky, and then back to me like this. Okay, so I'll begin. Is it important to be assertive and kind?
What purpose does it serve?
Let's discuss. Okay, so when we think of the word assertive, I'd like everyone to just put their hand up and say what the first word that comes to mind is. So when you think of an assertive person or being assertive, what word pops to mind? Karen?
Confident.
Confident, right? Anything else?
Direct.
Direct, okay, yeah, I like that.
Authority.
Authority. So these are all very good. I would add one more to the mix, decisiveness. I think when we think of a person that's assertive in a situation, whether that's assertive in a project, whether that's assertive in the military, whether that's assertive in any situation where some work needs to be done, I think we certainly imagine someone that has authority. We certainly imagine someone that carries themselves confidently. We certainly imagine someone that doesn't beat around the bush and can be very direct when necessary. And most certainly we imagine someone that has decisiveness, that can make snap decisions when there isn't too much time to think about things or brainstorm things. There's times when time is of the essence. This is a key point that's popped up a lot recently, right? So, Ricky?
If you are learning anything,
it's reassuring for you if your teacher comes across confidently.
It makes you feel as though you are in safe hands, as though you're being guided well.
And by the same token,
even if the teacher has great knowledge,
if the teacher comes across as unsure of themselves, lacking in confidence or conviction in their beliefs,
the student will also feel uneasy and anxious.
yeah. So both of you have been in the military and you understand the importance of feeling assuredness in the chain of command, right? Who's above you and knowing that I trust their decision making, you know? And they have to come across as very confident in their decision making ability as well. It's reassuring for the student or whoever's working for someone, whoever's learning from someone, whoever's in the learning position, basically. Having confidence or conviction isn't an easy thing.
We run the risk of being challenged by others.
Of coming up short.
Of being embarrassed.
Of being perceived as arrogant. And I think this is the scary thing, right? Yes. Right. So this is the scary thing, right? All of these things are very deeply unpleasant things, right? It's very uncomfortable to make the decision that I'm going to be confident and I'm going to have conviction in my beliefs. Because you're opening yourself up to scrutiny, essentially. If you have conviction in your ideas, if you have confidence in your beliefs, and you speak about them in front of an audience, you're putting your ideas under scrutiny, essentially. And that's a very nerve-wracking thought, understandably for a lot of people. Therefore, being confident is a choice.
Some people choose to live humbly.
Going under the radar.
Being liked by everyone they meet.
Which is not a bad thing. None of these things are bad. But as teachers,
we do not have the luxury of such choices.
At least not while we're teaching.
Yep. So not while we're teaching, right? So when you're not teaching, you're free to be whoever you want to be, right? But when you're teaching, requires a certain something. So Ricky?
We have to instill confidence in our students.
Which requires being confident ourselves.
Yep. So we have to instill confidence in our students, which requires being confident ourselves, right? And Chris?
And if a person successfully walks that thin line between confidence and humility.
Ricky?
Confidence that isn't loud or obnoxious.
Confidence that isn't flamboyant or boastful to the point of looking insecure.
Confidence that is backed up with real experience, knowledge, and ability.
Confidence with a code, doing right by people, keeping promises, uplifting not only yourself, but others that need it.
Well, that person is going to be respected whether they want it or not.
Yep. So going back to the description, a person that walks the thin line between confidence and humility. They're confident, but they're not arrogant. Confidence that isn't loud or obnoxious, the Floyd Mayweather type confidence where you need a Bugatti in every single color and you need all the fancy watches. Confidence that isn't flamboyant or boastful to the point of looking insecure, That's the thing about confidence, right? You can't draw a physical line over where confidence becomes arrogance. You can't put a number on it and say, oh, his confidence is over 9,000 now. And now it's arrogance, It doesn't work that way. It's very much an intuitive and instinctual thing, right? Where is that line? Nobody knows, really, Confidence that's backed up with real experience, knowledge, and ability, right? So whether you're a confident person or not, because people always focus on, oh, but I'm just not that type of person. I'm just shy and that's how I am and that's how I'll always be. That may not necessarily be the case, because if you build up a certain amount of experience or knowledge or skill or competence or ability in any one area, if someone comes to you and has a dilemma in that area, for example, hey, I've just gotten started fixing planes and I don't know what to do. You're going to have something to tell them, right? And you're going to be able to say it with some chest because you've been there and you've done it, right? Likewise with air traffic control, right? Or anything military related. Likewise with someone picking up a hobby and really not knowing if they're wasting all these hours into something that they're never going to get good at, right? You've been there before and you've done that. So whether you're confident or not to begin with, by nature, as a person, if you have skin in the game, there's going to be some confidence there. There's going to be some conviction there, right? And confidence with the code, doing right by people, keeping promises, uplifting others, not only just yourself. That person is definitely going to be respected. Whether they're asking for it or not, they will be respected, In simple terms, understated confidence, I would say. Understated confidence, not loud or obnoxious. Confidence knowing that people are going to recognize what I have. Okay, but why is it strictly necessary to be respected? Right, we're going to go to Ricky for this one now, so...
Is it so that we can puff out our chests and get the respect we damn deserve? Put some respect on my name.
So who knows the Breakfast Club? Who knows the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God, right? Who's seen the interview with a rapper called Birdman? Has anyone seen this interview? Right, I have to show you this. I have to show you this one, okay?
You're watching The Breakfast Club. Y'all ready? Yes, sir. I'm gonna start this shit off straight, telling all three of y'all stop playing with my name. Let's go there, let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. Okay, let's do it on camera. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it on there. Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlemagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
You done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest, Birdman. Cause I don't understand the angle. Like what?
I did it already.
So why come here?
I did it already. I'm here. So what's happening?
I mean, it's all good, but I'm saying why
I'm here. What's happening?
I'm all good, but I'm saying why come here just to
I'm
curse
here.
us
What's
up?
happening, man? I want to see you. I want to talk to you, man, in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't thought that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's the issue?
Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you don't get a feeling. I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name. You understand me? And y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
And I'm pulling up on you, nigga.
Yeah, but I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? I don't like talking to the radio
I
guy.
ain't my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. That's right. Hey. Yeah, boy. See you later, nigga.
See that guy shaking his head, yeah?
Ran over the grand closet.
All right, well, there you have it.
No, we good.
Pretty funny stuff, right? So, what's the ironic thing here? Has anyone got an opinion on what the ironic thing is from this situation?
Obviously, no.
Yeah, Karen.
He says with respect on my name,
Yeah.
but you really do not respect me after that, right?
Right. So the act of asking for respect is actually pretty damn lame, isn't it? Like saying, put some respect on my name, right? It's not gonna be like, the end result isn't gonna be like, oh, well, you're a person very deserving of respect. You know, it has the opposite effect, right? What does he come across as?
Arrogant.
Comes across as very arrogant, and also one other thing, right?
Kind of silly.
Silly, arrogant, silly, douchebag, and most importantly, insecure, right? He's trying so hard to be confident. He's trying so hard to show people who he is. I'm this tough gangster threatening a radio presenter, right? He's got the tattoos, he's got his bodyguards behind him. If he was really that tough, he would have just handled business on his own, right? But he's brought his bodyguards and he's got his tattoos. He's put some respect on my name. There's nothing respectable about it, right? It comes across as very silly, very immature, very douchebaggy. I don't even know if that's a term, douchey. And it comes across as very insecure more than anything, right? So that's not why we as teachers need to be respected. That's not the reason. It's not so that we have some respect on my name. Don't you know who Ricky Urbina is? Don't you know who Chris Todd is? Don't you know Campman? Right? That's not the purpose, right? No. The simple answer is no. That's not why we need respect. The simple answer is, Karen?
Students will be more receptive to feedback from a person that they respect.
I think that's a universal rule. I think that is a universal rule. Whether you go to Africa, whether you go to Jamaica, whether you go to Hawaii, whether you go to Brazil, I think people are more receptive to feedback from people that they respect, you know? And Chris?
Students will be more receptive to feedback from a person that they respect.
In fact, people in general are more receptive to advice from those they respect.
Yeah. So forget teachers and students. Forget subordinates and managers and colonels and sergeants and privates. People in general are just more receptive to constructive feedback and advice from people that they respect. This is a universal truth.
It is very possible to like, dare I say, even love a person and take what they say lightly.
Okay, so let's just process that for a second. You don't need to say names, right? But put your hand up if you have a person in your life that you are very, very fond of, and you like them, you like to spend time with them, they're a good vibe, but not necessarily someone you can hang your hat on, not necessarily someone you would go to in a moment of crisis. Meaning you like them, but you would hesitate to say that you respect them. Put your hand up if you know a person like this, right? It's very normal. So, Chris?
We've all been there, family members, friends, relatives whom we love to death, but wouldn't necessarily go to in a moment of crisis for advice.
Okay.
In essence, it is possible to like someone but not necessarily respect them.
As a teacher, can we afford to fall into this category?
Okay. So it's very possible to like, dare I say, even love a person and take what they say lightly. It's possible to like someone but not necessarily respect them. As a teacher, can we afford to fall into this category, right? No, we cannot, right? As teachers, we cannot. Why? Okay, so let's discuss that, you know. Karen, have you got thoughts on why teachers cannot afford to fall into the... I'll explain it as, he's nice. Yeah, she's nice. Yeah, いい人だよ。いいやつ。Why would it be less than productive, or let's say very unbeneficial to fall into this category as a teacher? Thoughts, anyone? Yep, Chris.
I'd say it keeps us from doing our job or accomplishing the goal, which is to teach the students. If they really disregard what you say, you can't teach effectively.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's a perfect way of putting it. Like it literally comes into direct conflict with what you're trying to achieve. As a teacher, your bread and butter is the advice you give, right? If you hire a teacher to teach you to play guitar, he's doing his job by giving you advice, right? And me as a student learning guitar from that person, I'm going to be a lot more receptive if I respect him, his skills, his knowledge, who he is as a person. And that will accelerate my learning, that will accelerate my growth, and it will make his job as a guitar teacher that much easier, you know? So very good answer. All right, so Karen?
There will be times when a student has to be told to
Apply yourself a little more, actually check their spreadsheet before the lesson.
Big smile. Right.
Fix stubborn habits, constantly omitting the use of will.
Right, or mixing up don'ts and didn'ts, and you know, you guys know the habits.
correct behavior that may be taken as rude. For example, constant yawning, not asking basic questions in return.
Right. So, as a teacher, should we just not do any of these things? Should we just go through the motions and just say, well, spreadsheet review time, yeah, good job today. They never fix the habits that you've brought up in the past, but you think, but they haven't changed until now, so what's the point of me even saying it now, right? Or maybe they do something which, let's say they meet a professor in the future, Professor Cortellini. This name comes up a lot on our spreadsheets. And let's say Cortellini asks, how are you? And they say, I'm fine. It's awkward to say the least, right? They can do better for themselves, okay? So as teachers, there's certain things we have to say, right? And Karen?
And if that student respects you,
They will take it on board and improve immensely.
which is what we really want to achieve.
Yes, that's what we want to achieve. The goal is for students to improve immensely, which means them being receptive to our feedback, sometimes uncomfortable feedback, is a necessary thing. It's not a negotiable, it's a non-negotiable. They have to be receptive to our feedback. They have to be receptive to some uncomfortable truths. Of course, delivery is important. We can't just say, you suck at this, right? You're rubbish at that. How many times have I told you? There's a way to go about it, which is what the whole assertive kindness thing is about. That's the kindness in assertive kindness. All right, and Chris?
So maintaining a certain amount of respectability in your students' eyes is in fact a crucial part of your job as a teacher.
Yes, yeah. You can't be caught with your pants down as a teacher, and you can't lose your temper as a teacher. You can't lose control. I worked a lot of part-time jobs when I was a university student, and when I had a manager that just lost his cool with me, whether he just lost it one day and smashed a plate, or whether he was like, how many times have I told you? It's like, you know, I lost respect for that guy from that day. Because he lost his shit, which means in a situation of crisis, he cannot be trusted. That person cannot be trusted to maintain their composure and do the right thing, you know? So we have to maintain a certain amount of respectability as teachers. It's, again, non-negotiable. It's not something that you can choose or not choose as a teacher. Have you ever experienced this situation? We're going back to situation 1, which you've written down. A student yawns, not once, not twice, but more than 3 times in your lesson. Their overall body language looks tired, disinterested, and bored. Maybe they do this. Maybe they swing around in their chair a lot. Maybe they're constantly leaning to one side. Maybe they've got their cheek in the palm of their hand. Maybe they literally fall asleep in the middle of your lesson. They don't yawn once, twice, 3, they yawn 5 times, you know? You're doing your best to change the tone, but you feel like you're losing, you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle, essentially. Exercise 1, we're going to get into pairs, and one will play the role of the student and the other of a teacher. So we got 3 today instead of 4, so I'll pair up with one of you. The one playing the role of the student will deliberately display uninterested body language, such as yawning, resting your cheek on the palm of your hand with your elbow on the table. The person playing the role of the teacher will practice responding in a way that strikes the balance between assertiveness and kindness. So, what's the title there? Assertive kindness, not passive aggressiveness. Very, very difficult not to fall into the passive aggressive category, right? It's almost hard to tell the difference between these two things sometimes. But being on the receiving end of it, we definitely know which one it is. We know when someone's being assertive and kind, or whether someone's being passive aggressive with us. On the receiving end, we always know. But the person delivering the uncomfortable truth or giving the feedback, they don't know which one they don't know which side they fall on. It's the person that's on the receiving end that knows, okay? It's very difficult, okay? So, is everything okay? Shall we take a quick coffee break? I could use a coffee too. You must have had a pretty busy day. Are you getting enough rest? I've also been pretty short on sleep recently. I know how it is. Let's take a quick coffee break, right? These are some examples of lines that you can use. You don't need to follow this script, but what we're going to do is we're going to practice doing it with each other so that we can have some confidence in our delivery when the situation comes, yeah? So Chris, I'd like you to pair up with Karen. Ricky, I'm going to pair up with you, and we're going to drill it with each other, okay? We're going to do this for about 10 minutes. Has anyone got a timer on their phone? Because my phone's using... Okay, so we're on this side, the teaching side, you're actually going to be pretending you've got like a screen up, you're going through review or doing a role play. All right, let's get into the role play. Whatever part of the lesson it is, it could be the wrap up, anything, that's up to you. Make it as realistic as possible. Try and recreate a real lesson scenario as closely as possible. Me and Chris will do our best to put on a resting bachelorette face, right? Which is not a hard thing to do. All right, guys, off we go. Let's do this. Yeah.
questions. That I always take is like, can I lighten up the mood?
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. That's yeah. I mean, I think if you had to separate the two things, passive aggressive and assertive in kind, it all comes down to delivery. Like, if we're coming from a place of I'm offended by your body language, it's gonna show in our delivery. It's gonna be heard and felt in our tone, in our voice, in our eyes, and everything. But if we're coming from a place of like genuine concern, like, yeah, I think he would be busy. I mean, this guy's got 3 study groups and he's got his own clinic and he's got a family. Like, he must be tired. Like, if we're coming from that kind of place, then it will also show in like our delivery. Yeah, and very nice. Good stuff. I'm gonna try one more thing that seems disinterested. Okay, I guess I'll just look in different directions. Okay, so yeah, carry on with your lesson thing.
Okay, so we haven't done a role play in a while. Why don't we go ahead and give one of those a shot today? You remember giving it a shot?
Give shot?
Give it a shot.
Vodka shot?
Yeah. Sigaimasu.
Vodka shot? Ghana shot?
No, that is also different. I hope you don't have to do that one.
Okay.
Give it a shot is more of just a way to say yattemi.
Oh, try.
Try.
Okay.
Yattemi.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So let's give one of these role plays a shot.
And if they do,
We have some new ones here called Speaking with Variety.
Yes.
all right. So
Is everything okay? Everything okay over there?
Sorry?
Is there anything going on around you?
No.
Okay, 1 second.
I focus.
Okay. Are you okay with rest? Are you sleeping well?
Actually, it's the beginning of the lesson.
Actually,
Or the end of the lesson?
I don't sleep enough recently.
I understand.
Yes. How
was your day today?
I have a lot dilemmas.
A lot. So remember, we would say a lot of dilemmas. Just by the way.
Anything special?
Yes, I have a lot plate, long way to go.
So the phrase is actually a lot on my plate.
Oh, yes.
Okay, how
Thank
did
you,
the meeting go?
thank you.
okay.
Okay,
And
alright.
yeah,
How
no,
about
I understand.
How about last weekend?
I'm also very busy with school and work recently.
Last weekend?
Um,
Did you do
it's-
anything?
It gets hard sometimes, right?
Yes, but it can't be helped.
It can't be helped, right? So look, we've only got another 25 minutes. Do you think we can both power through this together?
Yeah. Oh, power.
Power
Okay.
through. Do you understand
Which part
power
did you
through?
go to?
Power through. Genki dasu?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
right?
That would be a good way to put it.
Yeah. Do you go there
頑張って
often?
我慢しよう。
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
Yes.
so let's just do
Power
that
through.
together
Yes.
for another 24 minutes.
Yes, okay. I want to power through.
Yes,
Did you
it's
go with
power
your
through,
family?
okay?
Okay, good. Nice one, Ricky. I like it. It's very good. Yeah,
And maybe you can
good
ask
stuff.
me the same
How much time have we got
question
left?
How much time do we have left?
What did
59 seconds.
How about that for timing?
back. I actually
That's the
hang out
wrong
with a
timer.
friend.
Oh, a minute and 53.
Oh, that's
We
okay.
went to Shinjuku Station and we
No,
went
actually,
shopping.
can I have the name of that restaurant?
Oh yeah, sure.
Caesar's not sure.
That's right. It's called the theater table. It's called the theater table.
Is everything? I have to just ask. Is everything okay?
I'm sleepy today.
I see. Have you been really busy recently? I see.
He's a very good actor. He's doing a top job.
I've been very busy. I go to work,
Yeah.
and after work I have meetings, and I'm working on
Oh,
paper.
you're working on your paper. Yeah, I see. I've been there. I'm really sleepy nowadays too. Perhaps
Is that in
let's maybe take a little
study
water
room?
break.
What's up?
Is that one in the study room?
Maybe grab some water or something.
It's close to us. Go on the picture. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah. Yep, that's the one. That's the
Is that
one.
a good idea?
Yeah, that's the one.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I still think that is actually
That's the
best
place.
one
Yeah,
for me.
that's the place.
But I like the
Yeah.
idea of introducing like something new, a new key point. Like I never thought of doing that.
Yeah, that's
that's a good one.
that's neat. No, yeah, I mean, like when you say maybe we need to perk up a little bit. Do you know what perk up means, by the way? Maybe we need to
Yeah.
take a refresher. You know what a refresher is, by the way? Let's have a refresher. Let's take a breather.
I like
That's a
that.
very common term. Take a breather means ちょっと息しようみたいな. Yeah, so, all right, very good. So, how was that? It was, I think I was listening here, very, very good impersonation of a tired and disinterested student, you know? Yeah, very good. And let's go the other way now. So now it's going to be Karen displaying uninterested body language. Oh, wait, we already rotated. We already rotated. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're good then. All right, so hang on a second. Here it is. Good. Okay, so exercise 1 tips. Do's and don'ts. Okay, so Ricky, could you please read the first point in don'ts?
Yes. Don't be too jumpy when the yawn or poor body language comes. Give the moment of space to breathe before responding. Being jumpy screams, I take offense at your lack of interest.
So who knows what jumpy means, right? It's kind of urban term, but being jumpy is like in a street fight, the person who's the weakest and the most anxious will be like this, you know? Which screams, I can't fight for shit, you know, really. That's what it means, you know? So being jumpy means you're overly anxious to react. And you feel like you've got to jump in there straight away. Oh, they've yawned. You gotta give the moment space to breathe, right? Let them know you've seen this before. This is nothing new to you. And you understand. If you're coming from a genuine place of concern, let's be honest, our students are all very busy people. Let's keep that in mind. We're busy, but they're busy as well. They've got reasons to be tired, for sure, you know? So we're coming from a place of compassion, of understanding first and foremost, right? And if we're too jumpy, the message which we send is, I take offense at your lack of interest, and you need to fix that right now. Does that sound passive-aggressive or assertive and kind? It sounds passive-aggressive, obviously, right? Okay, and Karen, number 2.
A resting bachelorette face probably doesn't help in these situations.
No, it does not, yeah. Yes, I coined that term. I'm gonna claim that one. Okay, now let's go to the do's, all right? So Ricky, please read the first point there.
A small and subtle smile while you deliver your line will help you appear composed and experienced. A smile that says, I've seen this situation hundreds of times as a teacher, and it's nothing new to me.
Good. And Chris, could you please read number 2 in do's?
Japanese, traditionally being agreeable and unaccustomed to frank dialogue by nature, will respect your mix of boldness and kindness. They're fully aware it takes skill, tact, and courage.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Especially Japanese people find this fascinating about us Westerners. They think, how on earth do you have such frank conversations like that? You know, one thing I really respect about Japanese people is they're real artists when it comes to beating around the bush and taking the long way around to make a very simple point, you know? Us Westerners, we don't have time for that, you know? But they find that fascinating about us and they respect it, you know? As long as we don't do it stupidly, because there's a stupid way to go about it and then there's a smart way to go about it. Oh, Chris, you can go back to the comfy chairs. Yeah. I would love to deliver the presentation from there as well, to be honest. All right, and Karen, go to the last line there.
If the student says, I'm okay, I don't need a coffee, which is likely, have conviction in your decision. Everyone could do with a refresher break sometimes.
Yeah, so this is another situation that can happen. If you say, shall we take a coffee break? Then they can say, oh, no, I'm okay. Which is their most likely response. In that situation, maintain your subtle smile and your approachable energy and just say, no, I think we need to take a breather. Like, you know, let's get back here in exactly 2 minutes. And then you do it, you know. What's the worst that can happen? Seriously. They understand. It's a very reasonable thing to suggest. Okay, we've already done that now. Okay, so exercise 2 now. Get into pairs. One will play the role of the student and the other of a teacher. The teacher will ask the student a simple question such as, how are you today? The student will say, I'm fine. You guys felt that silence there, didn't you? Right? Very awkward, right? But they will not ask the same question back. The person playing the role of the teacher will then practice being both assertive but kind in teaching the student the importance of asking back to show some interest in the current conversation. It's a common courtesy, right? Even if you're not interested in the person sitting in front of you, you still have to ask, at least in Western culture. In Eastern culture, because there's a certain hierarchy in every relationship, there's one person that stands in the position of subordinate and one person that stands in the position of being the manager or whatever. Like, this is how Japanese, Korean and Chinese societies often think, right? So for them, asking a question back is not quite as intuitive as it is to us. It doesn't come as naturally to them. A lot of them actually think that asking a question back is inappropriate. So there's no ill will there when they don't ask a question back. But are we supposed to just let that be as English teachers? No, because when they meet people in the future, people are not going to know that Japanese culture doesn't necessarily teach the importance of asking, "Genki desu, sochi wa dou desu ka?" Right? They're not going to know that this isn't a thing in Japanese culture. They're just Westerners who think, "God damn, this guy's he's a little bit rude, man. He's a little bit self-absorbed." That's how they're going to take it. They won't have that knowledge and perspective of differences between Eastern thinking and Western thinking and, all that stuff, okay? So, Karen, could you read through the example conversation there?
Okay. The teacher says, "How are you today?" Student says, "I'm fine." The teacher says, "That's good to hear. Normally in this situation we say, 'And you?' Or, 'Excellent. In this situation it's custom to ask, 'How about yourself?'"
And Chris, could you read the conversation below that?
Teacher, let's try that again. How are you today? I'm fine, and you? That's perfect. Nicely done.
Okay, so that's handling the situation respectfully, but firmly. It's not, "Put some respect on my name. Don't you know who I am?" Right? This is handling it with poise, with tact, with skill, with consideration, with respect and manners. All right, so we're going to get in pairs now. Let's switch it up. I'll go with Chris, and Ricky, you go with Karen. And we're going to play the role of the student that doesn't know any better and just says, "I'm good." Right? And we're going to handle it like good teachers, okay? So, yeah. Oh, sorry, Ricky.
Hi.
All right.
Good afternoon, Hugo. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Ricky.
I'm good.
Good. So,
How are you
in
today?
English, when we greet someone and they ask us, "How are you today?" You answer, and then it's polite to ask the same question.
Same question?
Same question. So, if I ask you, "How are you today?"
Normally,
you can answer the
in
question,
English,
and then you could ask, "How are you?"
And you after.
So, let's try that one again.
You ask the question
Good
back to
afternoon,
me.
Hugo. How are you today?
I'm good.
So in
shall I?
Japanese, it's not so normal.
How are you
but
today?
In English,
I'm good, thank you.
please ask.
okay.
It's
Good,
better
that's
from-
just right.
Yeah.
So, when someone asks,
shall we
"How are
try
you?"
one more
you
time?
answer the question, and then you ask them the same
How are
question.
you today?
I understand.
I'm fine.
Okay, I do my best from now on.
Very
Good.
good.
I will
I'm
do
good.
my best.
Thank
Oh.
you. Excellent.
Yes, I will do my best from now on. Thank you.
Good. All right,
This is the really
let's
good
move
way
on.
I would-
Nice. I like the way you handled that. Very good. Yeah, it's definitely very clear and firm for sure. And I think
Yes.
for the students that it's not a negative or it's not a negative or like toxic thing where it's like, "I'm not interested in how your day is." It's just they don't know.
Just not know.
I'm fine.
Exactly, it's just not knowing. All right. We're going to change it a little bit now, and it's
Okay.
going to be like you're going to ask me, "What did you do last weekend?" And then I'm going to tell you what I did last weekend, but not ask you the same question back.
Okay.
And then you can say something on the lines of, "Now you can ask me some questions as well," something along those lines. Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, Hugo. And what did you do last weekend?
Last weekend I worked
Ask a question.
Okay.
and I
Most of the time,
went to a
you
drinking
think
party.
you're going to
Ah, very good.
Yeah, and
question.
I-
That is the custom.
I ate Chinese food.
In Western
Okay.
culture.
It was
So,
It was
when
6 out of 10.
I ask you a question, it's polite to ask the same question.
I
Okay. So
played
wanna go back
Mario
to
Kart with my sons.
Square one.
Ah, very
Wanna
good.
Go back to square one.
Well, that sounds like a
I
good
don't
weekend.
understand.
Now, please, ask me what I did last week.
Oh, sorry. One more time, please.
Please ask me
start
what
at
I
square
did
one,
last
and do our
weekend.
greeting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So. Good
What
afternoon.
What you do last week?
Good afternoon.
So, last weekend I went to Shibuya
I'm,
with my friends.
good.
We went to the
stayed
bar.
in my house.
We had drinks and we played darts.
And you?
And then
How are
on
you?
Saturday,
I'm
I
also
went
good,
to
and
the
I
water
have
park
also been
with
in
my
my
girlfriend.
It's
Have
very
you been
hot
to
outside, so I-
Tokyo Summerland in Saitama?
Yeah. Good.
Oh, it's
I feel like
there is Ampaman section.
Maybe sometimes it's over.
Wave. There is wave.
Yes, we call it the wave pool. Yes.
But I don't know if that helps just to
How was it?
It was lots of fun.
Yeah.
I like
Unless a problem
Summerland.
comes up, that's normally I'm just like, I'm gonna
Good.
make this as clear as possible, right?
What
Yeah,
is
yeah.
best attraction?
Oh, my favorite attraction
Square one,
is
start from square
the
one.
water slide.
That's good.
Yes.
But I think
Do you
that's
recommend?
Good. Like when you
Yes,
find
I
what
recommend
makes sense,
Summerland. It's a lot of
Then
fun.
it's, I think, really
I will
good.
try.
I do the same
Good.
thing.
Yeah.
But, oh,
Good. Another
oh,
way
you
we
use
can
this
say
now.
that, this is a
Now
good
it's
phrase, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
With
Oh.
explaining that.
Let me put it in the chat.
I think you did very good.
This means
Yeah,
I want to
but I
try.
think it depends on the person as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I understand. Good.
Good.
Right, we'll rotate now. So now you're going to be the one that doesn't know any better that they should ask back,
Sure.
and then I'll gently correct it. Okay, so
Heavily depends on the person.
we'll call you Tanaka-san.
When you have
We'll call you- So hey, Mr. Tanaka.
with
So
certain people,
what
I
did
find it
you
harder to
get
even
up to last
say
weekend? This is a common way of asking.
I don't know why that is.
What did you do last weekend? We ask, what did you get up to last weekend?
Some students
It's the same thing as what did you do last weekend. So, what did you get up to last weekend, Mr.
So
Tanaka?
depending on who I have in front of me, I
last
change also
weekend,
the way I explain
I
things.
worked.
I've noticed that.
And then Saturday night, I had a drinking party with my friends.
Even if they are
And
bubbly, sometimes
Sunday,
the things that they say on paper
I
would be
go
kind of
to
rooted in culture,
the
right?
park
So that's what it is.
with
Okay,
my
look,
family.
I just have to go
And
there.
do you enjoy drinking parties? Does it feel like work or pleasure
It feels
for
a little
you?
bit rude in English.
I enjoy.
So
You enjoy,
if say
you enjoy.
something like,
It was fun.
Oh, good. And do
a
you
substitute.
prefer drinking with your colleagues or drinking with your friends?
So many of that recently. Yeah.
Wait, and I'm like, okay.
Colleague means you work together. You work together.
So.
I'll put that in the chat for you. Colleague equals
That's a fun time.
a person I work together with. Yeah.
Like our approach about it.
I like to drink
I'm
with.
thinking if there's
Friends.
another.
Why? Why do you prefer drinking with friends?
Okay. Shall we try maybe one more? Can I do one more? Okay, you are.
Friends
Alright.
are more
Dr.
fun.
Urbina.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard
Good
that
afternoon.
nomikais are sometimes uncomfortable for people because they are drinking together with their bosses. So they feel a little nervous and they feel like they have to read the room. Even though they are drinking, they have to read the room and think about what they say and what they do. And they have to be very considerate. And I heard that's very tiring. How about you? What do you think?
Work.
That's right.
That's right, yeah. So, do you feel very nervous to drink with your bosses, or can you relax?
Well done, Dr. Urbina. Well done.
Sometimes
So
nervous.
you have a
Sometimes
fixed
nervous.
schedule?
It's only natural. Do you remember this expression? It's only natural.
Yeah. So you can also
Yes.
say, like,
It
elevator,
means that's
Utsunomiya
true.
Sen is always packed.
Yeah, I would say it's only natural. In Japanese would be close to atarimai desu, and we use it's only natural when we want to say that situation is unavoidable. It cannot be helped, you know? It's a normal reaction. Yes, shoganai, yes, そういうことです. Yeah, atarimai desu, right? So, all right, so
Yes.
if you could ask me the same question back, that would be great. So, what did you get up to last weekend? What did you do last weekend?
What did you
Oh, you
get
work
up
every
to
day because you have a packed
this
schedule, right?
weekend?
Last weekend.
Last weekend.
Okay, excellent.
All right,
Last
so,
weekend, I
Lina,
had a barbecue
normally
with some
in
friends.
English,
and I saw those friends for the first time in 2 years.
can you
For the
try
first time in 2 years,
ask the
right?
running sensei?
I think you know this one. This is in your 3G, 4G category, yes? You know what it means
It
for the
doesn't
first
feel
time
so
in 2
natural,
years,
so
right?
Hisashiburi.
That's right, exactly. So I caught up with them. Do you know what it means to catch up with someone?
So please ask me the same
No.
question back.
So, for example,
So this is more like
I
what
haven't
if
met
this
my
was
friend
more
for
direct
2 years.
director than
I don't know
this?
his situation
Anyhow, so
for 2 years.
let's
Catching up means
go
I
for
hear
square one.
about his situation, his work
Do you know what square
situation,
one?
his personal situation, his hobbies.
Square one means
Yes.
side
So
shape.
we catch up with
From the
someone if we didn't meet them for a long time. Yeah. Do you understand?
I understand.
Yeah. Great. Great. Yeah. So I caught up with my friends
Yeah, so,
and
let's go to square one. So
we went to
square one.
karaoke together.
Let's do that one more time,
Nice.
okay? So
And
I ask you.
even though I
Please
I
ask
didn't
me
meet
the
my
same
friend for
question.
2 years,
Okay, so
I realized he didn't change
how are you
very
doing?
much because
What have
his
you been up to
karaoke song choices were the same as last time. Do you understand?
I've been there.
Yes. Oh, very nice. I'm going to put that in 3G or 4G
I'm
for you
very
now.
good.
You use that very nice.
I had a
Okay.
very wonderful week.
Do you enjoy going to karaoke
Continue
with your
my
friends?
Kickoffs program.
Yes, I like it.
What's your go-to karaoke song? Go-to means you often choose this one because you are confident in it.
So.
Go-to song, go-to restaurant.
Right? Impressive.
I go to
Impressive.
my
A lot of them have
go-to-
impressive in their spreadsheet now, right?
Stay with me.
Yes. Oh, Stay With Me is Mayonaka no Doa, right?
So.
That's the one. Oh yeah, it's a very bittersweet song. Do you know what bittersweet means?
Yes, I think so. It really depends
Bittersweet
in front of me.
basically means happy and sad at the same time, you know? It makes me feel good, but I also feel a little bit sad. So in Japanese, the closest word would be setsunai.
That's for sure.
Setsunai desu ne. So when a movie has a happy and sad ending at the same time, we say, that's a bittersweet ending,
Lesson on Thursday.
which is very similar to setsunai in Japanese. Good, right. Good. Yeah. So that's how I would normally drag out. Well, I think drag out is the wrong term. I think with the less talkative, less smooth conversationalists, there's always things you can do to kind of pan it out and make it more
I'm gonna do this, right? And he's
engaging for them
Sure.
and yourself, you know.
Yeah, and I think I usually just go with now. Please ask me
Yeah.
the same question.
Right.
That establishes this is the procedure.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, I think if I do that once or twice, typically
Yeah.
they pick it up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the next time they say, "Oh, what did you do?"
Yeah, I won't say the name because this is recorded, but we have a student that did have the habit in the beginning of not asking and you and how about yourself, but now he does it every time without fail.
Yeah.
And he's much better equipped to meet Westerners and make a good impression now, so yeah.
And then sometimes I'll introduce the phrase, "How about you?"
Yeah.
And I'll say, "How about you?" This is a good phrase. It means please answer the same question.
Yeah.
So anytime someone asks you a question, you can answer and say, "How about you?" This means please answer the same.
Perfect.
All this and this and this.
Brilliant,
And
brilliant.
not
Good stuff.
being the case at all. And because of my assumption, I cannot be like more assertive because of that.
Yeah, I will say that that's one thing that I think I'm okay at, is not like assuming what they're thinking in a sense.
That's
You know,
very important.
I just kind of go by as just like they're not really thinking anything about what I'm saying right now, except for focusing on it, right? But it is more of like reading their behavior that should be just, okay, is this working or is it not?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I gauge most of my things off of, is actual like evidence in front of me, like this isn't working. Time to switch it up, you know?
Yep.
Good stuff, yeah. All right, I love that. I love that. I thought that was. I was listening a little bit while also doing it here. But yeah. Okay, so that is situation number 2 now. So could I quickly get a time check from you, Ricky? Is that all right?
Yes, it's 15:14.
Yeah, good. If anyone needs a toilet break, then is everyone good toilet-wise?
Yeah, I could use them.
Yeah, good. All right. Right. So we'll get back here in 5 or so minutes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Let's take a breather.
Let's take a breather. Hey.